Celeste Nicole Bell. All right, and if she can come forward, please. Counsel, you're on this side.
Been a while since I've been here.
No, that's okay. Deputy said it, for security reasons, it's best that you're on this side.
You can trust me, Judge.
Oh, I didn't mean that laughter as, ha ha, I can't trust you. It's more of,
Well, I am a Cowboy fan.
oh, Bashan, we have a Cowboy fan in our midst. That's
I'm not-
okay.
I'm not happy about it, Judge. I've been kind of born into it.
All right. All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, we're going to apply for pretrial diversion.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date on Celeste Bell, please. Let me see.
Can bring her back on September 23rd.
All right, we'll be back on September 23rd. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I appreciate that. All right, just have a seat and your attorney will give you your reset form. You're welcome.
You're looking for, thank you.
All right. Who's here on Sean Griffin?
That's the compliance hearing.
Okay, that's okay. Let's see what's going on. Thank you.
So basically, Judge, just to give you an overall quickly, this is one that we were. The court received an extension for a year, and Judge, you did not want to extend him a year, you wanted to extend him 3 months.
Mhm.
But you wanted to call a compliance hearing.
Okay. So, Mr. Griffin,
Yes, ma'am.
I know your issues with fees,
Mhm.
but they're telling me that you're testing positive for marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive.
So do you want to be revoked?
No, ma'am.
Then you need to stop using marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
If you were not using marijuana, this probation would have been done. So how often are you using?
Daily.
All right. So we're going to extend you, and this is what I want. We're going to extend you for 3 months. You better stop using.
Yes, ma'am.
And probation, I'm going to want him tested for levels. And you're going to do 90 sober support meetings in 90 days. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And why are you being extended? Why do you think you're being extended?
They get you compliant.
Yes. So all of this is completely up to you,
Yes, ma'am.
whether you end up at the Bexar County Jail or whether this is done in 3 months. It's completely up to you. If you continue to use, not going to be good. And what I can tell you is when people have children, and I see that you pay child support, that's a good thing. But I'm sure your children, if you have any visitation with them, they smell marijuana. They smell marijuana in the home. They smell marijuana on your clothes. That is not good for them because in Texas, the use of marijuana is illegal. And that's sending a message to them that it's okay to break the law. And the last thing they need is to have a parent who's going to the Bexar County Jail because they can't follow the rules. And then if you can't follow the rules, how really can you teach them to follow the rules and why it's a good thing to do? Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Abrams, is there anything else?
Judge, how would you like to address the community service hours in the parenting class?
All right. You need to complete that parenting class. And if you complete the parenting classes, then the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. But you need to start on those parenting classes. Why haven't you started?
I looked up a parenting class on Google. I didn't know it was a certain one that I had to do until I brought it to my probation officer and she gave me a card and she said that was the one I was supposed to do and it was $85 and I haven't had the $85 to pay for it yet.
Okay, well, Ms. Abrams will tell you maybe of some more parenting classes that are maybe less expensive. So she'll go over that with you. All right,
Yes, ma'am.
and obviously that parenting class didn't work. Because if it did, you would know that you're supposed to be following the law so that your children can look up to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Do you want your children to be proud of you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then that's what you need to do. Okay? And stop thinking that the Chicago Bulls are going to be doing anything. They could. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan.
Judge, how often do you want him tested for levels?
We'll test him today to get a baseline. And then do you all want to test him every 2 weeks?
That'll be fine.
All right, so they're going to test you for a baseline. They're going to test you every 2 weeks. If those levels go up, what's going to end up happening is a warrant is going to be issued for your arrest. You're going to be taken into custody. If you don't bond out, you're going to come over in orange at the box, and then you're going to tell me why you can't stop using marijuana. You have a choice to make. Do you potentially want to go to Bexar County Jail? If the answer is yes, continue to use marijuana. If you don't, stop using marijuana. You have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything else that we can do for you so that you'll be successful? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome. All right, who's here on Raul Juarez? Have y'all talked with probation?
Yes, I told Sean this morning.
All right, what's the reason for the withdrawal?
Due to the difficulties in proving the contact with Snapchats, we need the screenshots. We don't have them to provide to defense. And then we are not ready to proceed with moving up the new number one that I have to know.
Okay.
That's the only two items.
All right, so with regards to the new number one, at some point, is this going to be refiled or no?
But it's already filed, Jordan. It's been indicted.
Okay, I mean, the motion to,
Oh, yeah, that's the case.
I mean, the motion to revoke, because if the court signs this motion to withdraw, the court is not going to allow the state to then come back with another motion to revoke with the same. All right. So with regards to the alleged contact he has with the complainant, is that the same complainant
Yes, Your Honor, from the new number one. Yes,
and the same complainant that's
yes.
with the motion to? All right. Mr. Juarez,
Yes, Ms. Boyd.
how old are you?
I am 54 years old, ma'am.
All right, so here's the thing. They're asking to withdraw the motion. All right?
Mhm.
They're saying they can't prove up the allegations.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what I'm telling you, and I don't know why people don't understand this. There's to be no contact.
Yes, ma'am.
That's by phone. That's sending flowers to apologize. That's sending notes just because. That's trying to woo somebody back. They don't want you anymore. And I'm telling you, even if they do want you, you cannot contact them while you're on this probation. Do you
I
understand?
understand it, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand?
I did come in contact with the San Antonio Police Department, ma'am, in regards to her visiting my residence.
Mhm.
And their response, and this is where I got confused. I know probation has the rules, but the San Antonio Police Department, when I called on multiple occasions, they informed me that I need to, they wanted to charge her with criminal mischief because she did damage to my residence
Mhm.
and my vehicle, but they needed me to maintain her there. And I know I understand probation does not want me to have any contact, but this is where I was confused.
Well, this is what I want. Well, this is a suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
If she tries to contact you, then what you should do, one, call the police.
Yes, ma'am.
Number two, call probation and say, just so you know, this person is at my house right now.
Okay.
I'm sure probation has her contact information. And then call your attorney and say, this person is at my house. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else that you don't understand that needs to be cleared up?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much, Judge.
All right. With regards to those withdrawal probation, is there any conditions that need to be added?
No, Judge.
All right. And state, do you have contact with the complainant?
Yes, sir.
All right. If I have no jurisdiction over her, but she shouldn't be having contact with him if that's the case. And if you'll let her know that I'm going to sign the motion to withdraw.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing, Judge.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Do I have the motion to withdraw
You
yet?
just signed it, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right, who's here on Ruben Serna? All right, if you'll come forward, please. Yes, where's your client?
They will say he refused to count.
Oh,
This is, you gave him, to today.
oh, no, just one second. Deputy Mejia,
Yes, sir.
is he in the back or is he at his cell?
He's at the jail. He refused to tell.
All right, can you let the deputies know that he needs to be brought over? All right, thank you. They're gonna bring him over. We'll call you when he gets here.
Okay, he's at the main jail.
Yes, he's at the main jail. They're gonna force him to come over.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, Judge. Thank you. Maybe excuse.
Yes, we'll call you when he arrives. Samuel Albert.
Morning, Judge, for present.
Hello. Hi, good morning. All right, today is the plea deadline date. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Also, and I filed these motions to set bond
Okay,
on August 15th. We had another hearing on a bond motion. The court subsequently appointed me on these remaining cases. So
Yes.
now I'm counsel the record from Mr. Albert's cases.
Mhm.
Mr. Albert asked me to file a motion to set bond on these cases. I confer with the state and it appears that we have an agreement
okay.
to set bond on these cases that I handed to the court. That bond amount being $5,000 on each one.
All right, just give me a moment and we'll go on the record. Just one second.
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me, do you all have a Kleenex over there? All right. You know, when you have something on your glasses, it's not good. My glasses are actually for distance, so whenever I'm reading, I have to take them off. And my ophthalmologist said, we can put a line. I'm like, absolutely not. He's like, nobody will see it. I'm like, no. And he said, when you get tired of taking your glasses on and off, you'll let us do that. And you know what I told him? Never gonna happen. All right. So the motions that you filed, these are the cases that do not have bonds?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I don't have cause number 2020 CR 10550. And the other one is 2020 CR 10551. All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2020 CR 10550, 2020 CR 10551, CM 118347, CM 118206, CM 11820, State of Texas versus Samuel Joseph Albert Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
Good morning, Judge. Alfonso Cabañas for Samuel Joseph Albert Jr.
And are you Mr. Albert Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here on several cases, but on the cause numbers that the court has read into the record, we're here, the defense is asking that a bond be set. Defense, so you're saying he doesn't have a bond in either of these cases?
Yes, Your Honor. On all the DC 2020 cases the court cited and the CM cases, there's no bond set.
All right, state, have you had a chance to review the defense's motions? All right, do you have any objection to the court setting a bond? All right, and my understanding, you all have agreed upon a bond, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
And is that in each cause number?
My understanding it's a bonds amount of $5,000 on each count or on each case number. Is that right, Andrew?
That is correct.
All right.
Cases are silenced?
Oh, just
We
for a
haven't seen it?
moment.
Okay.
All right, we're back on the record. And excuse me, Deputy, could you have this attorney? moved down? All right, so the agreement is $5,000 in each cause number, is that correct?
It is, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any requests for conditions? State?
GPS partial tracking.
All right, are there any no contact orders in place with regards to the locations? All right, if you all could make sure you give me the addresses for that, I'll put it in the order. So state if you can get me a list of each case, what the address is, and I'll make sure that that's placed in the order.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Albert, I have a few questions for you. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Samuel Albert.
All right, do you have employment?
No, ma'am.
When's the last time you were employed?
January.
Okay. Have you ever used any type of drugs
No, ma'am.
in the past? No marijuana?
No, ma'am.
No alcohol?
Sorry.
All right. If you're released, do you have a place to stay?
Yes, ma'am.
Who would you be staying with?
Mother, my child, my girlfriend.
Did you pick up the phone and ask her if you can stay with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you say yes, ma'am. Sometimes people don't, they just assume.
We talk every day, ma'am.
All right, so she's willing to have you stay with her.
Yes, ma'am.
And how many children are in that home?
Well, she has one by me.
So how many children are in the home?
One.
So there's only one child.
Yes, ma'am. I have 6, but one with her.
And what are the ages of the 6 children?
Well, I have a 10-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, I have a 3-year-old, I have a 2-year-old, and I have 18, well, he 18 months, not 2. And I have one that's just born in July 12th, and I have a pregnant baby mama.
My gosh, wait a minute. 10, 4, 3, 2, 18 months, and then the 1-year-old.
Yes, he a newborn July 12th.
18
Wait.
months, a newborn judge,
Yeah.
and then he has a pregnant girlfriend.
All right, so let me just see. So the person you're planning on living with, she has the 1-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have 10, 4,
Yes,
3, 2, 1 years, 18 months, a newborn.
The 2-year-old is the 18-month-old. I had to say this too.
Okay, so 10-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, a newborn, and someone who's currently pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
And the currently pregnant person is not with the 1-year-old.
No, ma'am.
All right, just as a side note, I'm just curious. So the mother of your child, she's aware of the fact that you have a newborn. And she's aware of the fact that you have someone else who has a baby on the way. All right, you're just being fruitful and multiplying.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you thinking?
I just be, I mean, I don't know what I be thinking, man. I just wanna.
Be fruitful and multiply, I guess.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
He's following the book of Genesis, Your Honor.
Well, no, the reason why I'm saying this is because isn't there some drama that's going on? But how many mothers,
I have 5 baby mother.
5 people who are mother your children?
One of them got 2 children.
So and these 5 mothers don't have drama or complications?
Yeah, it'd be like, well, I be bouncing around, so a lot of them I'm not together with no more. We just co-parent. And
And then others you are more than just co-parents.
yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm just asking to figure out what to do. All right. I always wonder when people have children, you have a newborn, somebody who's pregnant on the way, and there's a 1-year-old, 2, 3, 4, and then a 10-year-old. There's a lot of overlapping going on. And I always wonder if the current mother of the 1-year-old who's saying you can stay with her, if there's drama. Because I'm telling you right now, if there's drama, what's going to end up happening is you're probably going to violate your bond conditions.
Again, I'm just not gonna be in trouble.
All right. And you have all these children you're going to have to financially support.
Everybody, I mean, this now, I have to beat up for them.
All right. Do you have any mental health issues? Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
No, ma'am.
All right. Any gang issues?
No, ma'am.
All right. What is that tattoo? Shoot. What does it say?
I always say, shoot first.
What? Shoot first, ask questions later?
No, ma'am. I got it. I was young when I went to the pen. I had been shot up before.
Reminder, we are on the record.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. She's talking to other people in the box.
It was a mistake I got when I was 17. I went to the penitentiary.
All right. So what did you go to prison for?
Regular habitation.
Okay. All right. So the court is going to follow your agreement to a $5,000 bond in each of the cause numbers. The court is going to order full GPS. I'll ask that the fees be waived. Counsel, if he obtains employment, then the court will, of course, allow him to work because he has a lot of children he needs to support.
Goes wrong.
And then I'm going to order no contact with all of the places that are listed in the police reports. And there is to be no unsupervised contact with minors. So with regards to your children, you're not able to take them to the park by yourself. It'll have to be, their mother will have to be with them, or either your parents will have to be with them, or either their mother or whatever relative they have will have to be with them to supervise. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. May I have a question?
Sure.
When you say full GPS, is that like a house? I mean, like,
Oh, yes. It's like being at the Bear County Jail, only you're at your home.
because I have, I'm not from Bear County. I'm from Houston, and I also have a case in Kendall County. That's why I was like, I don't like, I have to like come because when I got arrested here, I got arrested April 22nd. I had to drive out here to come to court.
So where are you going to be staying?
Well, I got family out here, but I was hoping to go back home with my family in Houston.
Well, is the mother of your child in Houston?
I'm not from San Antonio at all.
All right. Any objections to him being in Houston, Texas? They'll still give him GPS in Houston. All right. So I'll do partial GPS. It's for attorney appointments and court appearances only. So if you need to meet with your attorney, or if you have to show up to court in Kendall County, that's what it'll be for. And I really don't have to put court appearances in there because if you're at court and your GPS goes off, they'll be able to see that you're at court. And if they call you, you can say, hey, judge, my GPS, they're telling me I need to leave. And the judge will say, no, he's in court. He's staying here. All right. Is there anything else?
Not from defense counsel, Judge.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, on his indicted cases, do we have a court date for Mr. Albert?
Which was today, Judge?
All right. So today was your plea deadline date. I'll extend it because I know you've been recently placed on his other cases, Mr. Cabanos. So Ms. Ferguson, give me 1 week for a plea deadline date, please. I'm sorry, not 1 week, 1 month.
23rd. September 23rd.
All right, so we're going to be back on September 23rd. You will need to be here in person in court on September 23rd. Do you understand? All right. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
All right. So attorneys, before you leave, if you can make sure you give me the addresses or locations where he is not to appear. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a copy of the order and you need to make sure that you abide by those orders. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All right. Is there anything else? I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it happens.
Nothing related to these cases.
All right, thank you. All right, if you all will write down those addresses and locations for me.
We'll get that done, Judge.
Hey, you need to get diamond, that's diamond on your teeth? Real diamonds? All right, you need to get real diamonds on your teeth, then maybe you'll do better in the dating pool.
I am.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you. John Harold Robinson or Robison. Hello. Good morning, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm here for George Shorman. on this
All right,
case.
how's football season gonna be for y'all?
We're going undefeated. You should know that. You should know that, Judge.
All right, Bashan. Texas A&M is in the house. So Texas Longhorns, beware. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Oh,
I'm long.
oh, hey, wait a minute, your client's a Longhorn? What? That's okay. I'll give you a pass.
Thank you, Josh.
All right. So we're here today for discovery. Who's the prosecutor on John Harold Robinson? I'm sorry, Robison?
I've heard it all my life.
Okay. So on this one, do we know where we are on the
Yes, Judge, on
lab discovery or?
yes, we filed our motion for blood discovery. It was received by the court in the system on July and in July.
Yes, July 25th.
Yes. And according to the clerk, there was, I don't know if it's a Odyssey issue or what, but there's a lot of things aren't making their way through.
Mhm.
So I don't think an order was signed or has been signed. So I think
An order was signed.
we were just looking at it and couldn't find
No,
it.
no.
Okay, good.
An order was signed because it says on my, that's why I write
Okay, great.
everything down.
Good.
Order for labs, signed, occupational license, granted,
Yes.
recalled August 22nd to make sure everything is updated.
Okay, good.
So is the order somewhere lost?
I can. Go ahead.
I apologize for the order. A scanned copy of the order is not uploaded to Odyssey. I do not know why.
Odyssey strikes again.
The case management system also does not reflect that there is a signed occupational license order.
All right, and that has been granted and signed. So if you all want to refile the occupational license, the court will sign it and state, if you'll sign off on that, I'll re-sign another order for lab discovery
Yes, Your Honor.
and defense. If you will make sure that you get a copy of it
Okay.
so that you'll have it.
Do we need to bring you the paper copies to sign? Judge, or
Oh, no,
just
he's giving
that?
it. I'm going to sign it right now
Okay, great.
and the clerk will give you a copy.
Okay, thank you.
And I think Mr. Sharman should have a copy of the occupational license because it's been signed and it's been signed twice. If I were to sign it again, it would be the third time. My mind is a steel trap. I've signed that occupational license twice.
You got, yeah, he's got it. That's all taken care of.
All right. And this discovery order,
Yeah, it's a temporary.
this is going to be the second time that I signed this order. So I'm signing it again.
Thank you.
Ms. Ferguson on Robison, could I have this recalled in 30 days for discovery? All right, we'll be back on September 23rd. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes.
And I forgive you for being a Texas Longhorn. I don't know about your Aggie attorney, though.
Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, thank you. And the clerk will give you a copy of this order.
Who do you have?
Richard Wallace.
Nope.
Richard Wallace. Who's the attorney on Richard Wallace?
This is for Alvoid.
All right, thank you. Yeah, could you hand me that document that's being printed? Thank you. All right, Mr. Wallace, if you'll take a seat for a moment, please. Defense, if you're, yes. if-
That's all you are. So,
right.
and prosecutors had it too.
Oh, you all need to, if you all will sign
Oh,
on the
okay.
bottom, that you all have no objections.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Or if you all don't want to sign, we can just put it on the record that
No.
you all have no objections.
I'd rather do this. So,
All right, all right, thank you.
I want to clean it up once and for all.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, are the parties ready on Richard Wallace?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Jason, on this case, there were some issues.
I heard.
Yes. So what has been prepared is a judgment, non-proton. And we're going to keep, if there are no objections, we're going to keep the way it's written in the motion to revoke with the assault, reckless breath circulation with a previous conviction. And then it's going to be as though it's a second-degree felony. And that the punishment in place is going to be 6 years instead of the 7 that's listed in the judgment, because the way the plea paperwork was done before my time, before you all's time, it's sort of all over the place. Okay.
Just gotta grab the NCR.
All right, sure.
All right, Judge.
All right, court is calling 2018 CR 7000 State versus Richard D. Wallace. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
Michael Collins, attorney for defendant, present and ready.
And are you Mr. Wallace? All right, let's start off with the plea paperwork and with the judgment. There were some corrections that needed to be made to the judgment. Mr. Wallace, I know that your attorney has explained this to you. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, but I'm going to put it on the record to make sure that everyone is on the same page. So in the judgment, this is listed as an assault, family choking, strangulation. However, the offense of your the offense for which you were convicted is going to be assault, intentionally or reckless breathing to stop circulation, family violence with a previous family violence conviction. Is there any objection from either party to changing the current judgment to that convictions, I mean, to that offense? State?
No.
Defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
And the code section is going to be 22.01 of the Texas Penal Code. Any objection to that being the statute for the offense? State? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wallace, do you have any objection to anything that the court has placed on the record so far? Now, with regards to punishment and place of confinement, it's going to be corrected to show that it's 6 years TDCJID and a fine of $1,500, imprisonment, institutional division. Any objection? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense? Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wallace, any objection? Any objection to the court signing the judgment non pro tunc as with those corrections? State? Defense?
No, Your
The court then is signing the order. And if either party needs a copy, the clerk will prepare a copy so that you all may have it. Next, we're going to proceed. Now the court is going to proceed with the motions to revoke. Mr. Wallace, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision, First Amended Motion to Revoke Community Supervision, and Second Amended Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Richard D. Wallace who was placed on community supervision in 2018 CR 7000 for the offense of assault, intentionally or reckless breathing, circulation, family with a previous conviction on December 17, 2018 for a term of 7 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor, on the Second Amendment motion to revoke. Violating condition number 1, on or about the 20th day of June 2024, Bear County Texas, the defendant Richard D. Wallace committed the offense of possession of controlled substance violation of condition.
All right, to that offense, how do you plea? True or not true?
True.
State,
Your Honor, we'll waive any violation.
any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number one, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 6 years in prison
Yes, Your Honor.
and up to a $1,500 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, for your client
Yes, sure.
and state. Knowing this, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one?
Sure.
Court will find violation of condition number one true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Or however, the state is TIC taking consideration, three different cases. County Court 14, case number 722471. And that's a theft case, and then also a possession of controlled substance case as 2024 PF 04139, which we have pled true to. And that's a possession case, and another possession case of 2024 PF 04140. And Your Honor, the state is recommending revocation.
All right, and defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, my client was put on, it's a 7-year length of probation back on December 17th, 2018. Shortly thereafter, starting April 11th, 2019, he was sent to safety. He completed safety, did 186 days in safety, Your Honor, completing it on October 14th, 2019. Beginning on October 14th, 2019, he was then sent to residential aftercare, which he did for 60 days, Your Honor, completing that on December 13th, 2019. Beginning on December 13th, 2019, and ending on August 18th, 2020, my client did safety outpatient aftercare, Your Honor. If you look at his the motion to revoke, Your Honor, or the court summary, he had been testing. He was testing clean for a long time, Your Honor. He tested clean from December 17th, 2019 until July 23rd, 21. We did have one positive during that time period, Your Honor, 19 months. Right after that, my client, he hooked up with some lady that he knew or met. She was heavily into drugs. He relapsed, Your Honor. And as you see on the testing after that, it went downhill, Your Honor. Started testing positive, failed to submit, all those kind of things until.
Was her name Eve?
What's her name?
Janelle?
All right, I always say, was her name Eve because,
Oh, the temptation.
Yes. that's, we
Not this
blame
time.
women
Not this time, Your Honor.
for leading us astray.
No, he realizes he made a mistake in being with her and relapsing. Your Honor. What we're asking for, Your Honor, he realizes he has a problem with the drugs, Your Honor. He liked, safety did him good, Your Honor. He came out, he was doing fine. He liked another chance. I believe in talking to the probation officer, there is another, like a relapse program or something like that they have through safety or something similar to that. And he's more than willing to want to get into that program and get himself some help, Your Honor. He still, of course, has until December of 25 at this point, if the court does not extend his probation. But of course, if the court extends it, he would have still a lot more time on probation.
All right, probation. What is probation's recommendation? All right. So is there anything you wish to say, Mr. Wallace?
Yes, ma'am. Judge.
All right, you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Richard D. Wallace.
All right, what would you like to say?
Just want to say, Judge, that come before you today that when I got out of prison, I did 9.5 years of a 10-year sentence. And that was 2017 when I was released. When I was released, I only stayed out. I came out with 6 months parole. And I came back to jail in 4 months. When I came back in 4 months, that's when I picked up that charge, the choke and strangulation.
Mhm.
It's given a chance since it's AP. It did me some good. I did everything in my willpower to promise my family that I was going to succeed and finish this probation successfully because I had a court room full of family support. And I understand that I met somebody. I got with somebody as soon as I got out. I got with a good woman, and she helped me save money. I was working, I was doing everything, but happened to relapse. And then from there,
Well, let's
she-
back up a minute. The good woman you were with,
yes, ma'am,
is that the same woman who led you astray?
no,
So you preferred someone to lead you astray over to the good woman who was there for you always.
yes, ma'am.
All right, you can continue.
And well, she tried to tell me to stop doing the drugs, but I was ready to hooked on drugs that's all I really cared about. And she got tired of it. She kicked me out. I went back to my mom's. I hooked up with this girl. And then from there, I just drowned myself in drugs. And after that, Your Honor, I relapsed, and I was ready. When I was going to probation, I was already in process. When I was coming out dirty, my probation officer had told me, well, I'm waiting for the courts to send me back on what they're gonna do with you. So on that same day, that was a Wednesday, and 2 days later, I had a warrant put out for me. And well, that same day, I get a phone call. Well, that same day, I get locked up. I come to jail. I post bond because I was trying to get out before the MTR. So I get out. But this woman that I was with, Your Honor, and I'm just telling you the truth, man, it was over drugs. I didn't take her to the dope possible score. So we went to
Oh, no, here's the thing. Let me just tell you, the state didn't go over any of those allegations. They weighed them. So the only thing we're dealing with is your probation being violated because you were in possession of drugs.
And I mean, I just wanted to let you know how it went because it's the truth. And after that happened, came to jail, posted bond. The woman lied on me and said that I had hit her. She knew my rap sheet. I never touched the woman, never. So after that happened, I posted bond, and 2 days later, when I posted bond Monday, my probation calls me and asks me, she's like, how were you released if you're supposed to turn yourself in to Safe P because you were gonna go back? I said, ma'am, I never turned myself in, picked up another charge. So from there, she had said, well, let me call you back. Well, from then, my phone died out and I never heard nothing. So I just left it like that. So I stayed on the run for a year. And that's just the truth, Your Honor. The only thing is that I'm asking you is that my life and my future is in your hands, you know? And all I'm asking is a chance. I'm coming to you for help so you could help me so I could successfully complete this probation. And I'm asking you that it's you that has the authority, the control, and the power, that either you could help me, send me back to prison, or you can release me. And if it's in your will, to put me in an outpatient or rehab, and I'm willing to do whatever the stipulations that you want to give me, I'm willing to do. And I leave it to you, Your Honor. And just for the record, I just didn't feel that with the VA, I tried to explain this, but I didn't have the chance. So I said, you know what, I'll just put my life into your hands and I'll let you decide.
Okay. Any questions, defense? State, any questions? All right. Could I have those printed out pages, please? All right, the court is finding violation of condition number 1 true. I want you to know that I always listen, and people who come before me, I see every person who comes before me as a human being. I don't see people as criminals. That is why normally I will call people the accused, because that's what they are. I try to stay away from calling people defendants and giving anybody, be it for the state or the defense, certain labels, because I think once you start giving those labels, then your mind switches to a different place. So I see you as an accused person. And I understand that there's been help for you. And the reason, when you're sent to safety and other places, I know that once you successfully complete safety, they place you in outpatient treatment. And when those things are done, you've been given the tools to stay clean and sober. And those tools are calling your sponsor, calling your probation officer and saying, hey, I'm back in the throes of my addiction. Can you help me? And both the state and the defense know that people who are placed on probation with me, normally, if it's an addiction issue for them personally, they're not picking up new charges. They are not hurting other people, they're hurting themselves, I will usually try to work with you and get you to inpatient treatment. And if people don't want it, they don't want it. We can say, I tried, the state tried, the council tried. All right, your case is something that's completely different. So I'm going to find number one true, take in consideration county court cause number 147. I'm sorry, take in consideration county court 14 cause number 722-471, 2024 PF 04139, 2024 PF 04140. I'm going to give you credit for the time that was successfully completed in inpatient treatment, not the aftercare portion, just inpatient at safety. And of course, give you credit for any time served, which the court must do. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money will run concurrent. I'm going to revoke you. I'll suggest the therapeutic community. You'll have to sign up for it. I have no jurisdiction to have you placed in that program. That program doesn't increase the length of time that you're in custody, but hopefully it will help you with your addictions. When you're released from prison, if you can't find a place for inpatient treatment, if you come back here, I will call around to make sure you get in place at an inpatient treatment facility. Does anyone wish to speak to length?
Yes, Judge, I mean, considering that it was suggested 7 before yesterday, state's requested 6 years.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, in light of my client, having gone through inpatient programs, outpatient programs, aftercare programs, Your Honor, and coming to the court and explaining that he still has problems with drugs, being very forthright to the court, we'd ask that the sentence be closer to 2 years, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 6 years in prison. Is there anything else with regards from sentencing for either side? All right. Did you review the state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is not a plea bargain agreement. You do have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is that it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. I wish nothing but the best for you, okay? All right, thank you.
You know, and of course, over and above the residential, the inpatient treatment that he got, days credit that he got, of course, he's going to be getting all credit that he has been spent in custody.
Yes, you'll receive credit for the time that you've been in custody and also credit for any time in inpatient treatment.
Safety.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions about that defense, just ask the clerks. They'll make sure he gets his time. Number one, my staff is not rude to people. If you think for some reason that my staff is being rude, you can approach and address it with me. Number two, to the accused who are in the courtroom, guess what? If your attorney is not present, if they have a vacation letter on file, the staff is not allowed to release you. I'm the only person who can release you. And if you leave the courtroom and do not return before you release, guess what's going to end up happening? A warrant will be issued for your arrest. I have cases that have been placed up here. I'm going in the order of appearance. I place everything. And as you can imagine, attorneys, I know you know, audit moves very slow. So I'm going as quickly as I can. Thank you. Yes.
Judge, I like that full purse today.
Oh, thank you. And I'm still working on putting Albert David stuff in. Okay. Oh, Maria, are you ready? All right. Are you all ready on Alvoid, Todd? All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 4678, State of Texas versus Alvoid. Todd, could I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
The attorney of record is Monica Gadetto. Joseph Bateson covering. And Mr. Alvoid, do you have any objection to me standing in place of Monica Guerrero?
You need to speak up, sir.
No, ma'am.
All right, so where we were yesterday is the court had gone over the court admonitions with you. And then there was an issue with the stipulations.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
If I remember correctly, not yesterday, Tuesday,
yes, Tuesday, sorry.
and I do not remember which evading arrest is contained in the stipulations, if it's 6.5.
All right, what is in the stipulations for the evading is 615151.
Change the enhancement allocation cost number to 61515.
Any objections, defense?
No objection, Your Honor. I had explained that to Mr. Todd. We do not object to that amendment.
All right, everyone, please whisper. We're on the record. And Mr. Todd, you understand that that's a substantive change to the enhancement allegation?
Yes, ma'am.
And that your attorney would have 10 days to prepare for trial with regards to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then the court will grant the state's motion without objection. And the previous court admonishments have been completed with Mr. Todd. So state, with regards to that, do you have any evidence to present? I'm sorry, Mr. Todd, how do you plea?
Not guilty.
No contest.
I'm sorry. Do you understand that with a no contest plea, basically what that means in layman's terms is you're not saying you're guilty. You're not saying you're not guilty. You're just not fighting the charges against you. And if the state produces evidence that shows you committed the offense beyond a reasonable doubt, then the court can still find you guilty. Did you understand that?
Yes.
So do you wish to plea?
No.
Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
All right, state, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
No objection, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so according to the plea bargain agreement, as previously stated, your punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 12 months in the state jail facility. All right, state, do you have any evidence to present with regards to sentencing or any argument? All right, defense, do you have any evidence?
No evidence, arguments.
Yes.
Your Honor, Monica Guerrero and I were here, as you know, till Tuesday after 5:00 p.m. Monica here had gone over this with Mr. Alvoid. This is an agreement that normally we would, when the state has a cap, we request a PSI. Monica and myself explained this to Mr. Todd, that we originally wanted to have the PSI. Mr. Todd was just to go forward right away, not wait for any evaluation in a PSI interview. He's letting you decide. And I had explained to him the range of punishment on the state jail now that the habitual is waived. No less than 180 days, maximum 2-year state jail facility. The punishment to cap 12 months. He's fully aware that it's between essentially 6 months to 12 months in your hands. Knowing this, we want to go forward today with the sentencing. There are some things that we would like to address for mitigation for lower end of the spectrum. This is a body camera video where he's at a hotel. He didn't destroy damage property. He didn't break a window. There's no criminal mischief. There's no victim in the sense of there's no assaults. There's no harassment of public servants. In the video, he was backing away slowly from an officer. He does turn his body. He does move away from the officer, but he then jumps into a large puddle of water and he's splashing water on himself. At no point have we ever had any type of concern for competency. He understands his charge. He understands the nature, the court process, our role. He speaks very well, but he had some type of episode, whether that was mental health or substances, but he pulls his pants down and he is washing himself in his nether regions, splashing water on himself and splashing some water towards the officers. He does, the stipulations are correct. We say they're true and correct. He did run. He takes, it's hard to say running when the pants are still on his feet. He couldn't take a wide leap. He was tackled in the water, in the mud. It wasn't as if this is not a case where there's a high-speed chase. He gets out the vehicle and runs on foot. This is not that type of situation. He's remorseful that this happened. Watching the videos helped him realize his actions. He is asking for essentially all his back time credit to bring him to time served or close to time served. He's been in here roughly 6 months and he's asking for 9 months state jail facility, which would not be exactly time served. But I explained to him that he would be held here 30, 45 days before he goes to any facility. He would be here a little bit longer, but he's asking for as close to time served as possible, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Todd, I don't know what was going on that night. I don't know if you were having a drug-induced mental health issue or if you were just having mental health issues. Would you like to address that for the court?
You're able to speak to the judge.
Yeah.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Todd.
All right, what would you like to say, Mr. Todd?
At the time, I was going through some stuff. I was previously on, and I was going through some stuff at the time.
Previously on what?
On drugs, not at that time, but like 2 weeks before. And I'm looking for a place because I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. I was looking for a place to stay. And I gotta have no place. I lost my place. I lost everything. Within an 8-month period when my dad died. And ever since then, I started getting all this stuff. I've just been dealing with a lot. So I'm not looking for any symptoms or anything, but I mean, it's like, I went through all this stuff. I finally started getting clean. I said I'm gonna get clean. And that's the 2 weeks I've been off. And then, because I was clean for 2 weeks at the time. And I was looking for me a place to stay, to get some rest, to get some sleep, because I was up for like 3 days because I had an ID. I couldn't get my ID. And I tried to get it somewhere to sleep. And
So what is this? You're washing yourself in the mud and everything?
I was going through an episode. I mean, I can't explain this, so embarrassing. I never went through that.
No, I don't want to embarrass you. So when you say you lost your place, was your place with your father?
Oh, no, it was my own place. And
so how did you end up?
Father, I lost my nephew, my son.
How did you end up losing your
All
place?
in like a 2 weeks period. And then everything just started coming downhill. I lost my family. They left.
All right, when you say they left, what do you mean?
Told me they didn't want me to be around them no more. None of them.
All right, so here's the thing. Sometimes when family members tell you that, that may mean that they're not going to enable you anymore if you're using drugs.
I haven't spoken to 8 years.
Hmm?
I haven't spoken to them in 8 years.
Yeah, so
I haven't seen them or anything.
So what that means is they're probably maybe tired. And for them to want to have contact with you again, you will have to prove to them that you're clean and sober. And I'm sure if you look internally with yourself, they have probably done this game with you or this process with you where you get clean and sober and everybody sees you, they have a big celebration, maybe they have a barbecue, you come, everybody's like, this is so great. And it goes well for you, you're going out looking for employment, and then either you don't get employment and then you go back to using, or either you get employment and then the next thing you know, coworkers at work invite you out, you all have beers, and then you're downhill. And then it comes around again, and they're probably tired of the cycle, and they just said, we can't trust you anymore, and we're not going to build up our hopes. So you have to present with them being clean and sober for a length of time. Because otherwise they get their heart broken and they're just tired. You understand? All right, the court is going to note for the record, this wasn't in a vehicle. This is him running with his pants down and not getting very far, then falling into the mud, then the officers having to arrest him in the mud. And nobody likes doing that, getting all muddy and dirty. You understand? And it's more than that. When officers tell you to stop, you just need to stop. And guess what? If you would have stopped and answered their questions or not took off running, we wouldn't be here. Who knows? Maybe you would have had a possession less than a gram case. I do not know. But when you run, that then puts you with more and more charges. You understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 9 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. I'll recommend the therapeutic community. You should really take advantage of that. And when you're released from custody, you need to go to inpatient treatment. There's lifetime recovery. There are other places. They are free. They will help you. After you've completed inpatient treatment, they will let you go to transition housing at a sober living facility. That is what you need, and you need it 100%. Do you understand? And do not, when you're released from prison, get involved with other people, because you need to 100% work on yourself and find out who are you when you're clean and sober, and what dreams did you previously have that you have let your inability to remain clean and sober interfere with. Do you understand? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. If you're released, well, you will be released. When you're released from the state jail facility, if you can't find a place for inpatient treatment, you can come back here. I will pick up the phone, call people so you can get into inpatient treatment. The last time you use may be the last time you use. And then guess what? Your family will get to meet you again, because they're going to call them to have them come down and identify your body. You understand? All right, good luck to you, okay?
Judge, you said credit for time served. correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.